Hi my YouTube family, this is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. Please welcome to Home Garden and Fashion. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and please do go to my Facebook fan page and give me a like there if you haven't been there already. In today's video, I'm going to share my idea of how I cook basa fillet. So these are basa fillet pieces. They're fish, one kind of fish. So I'm going to add little bit of oil, not too much, very little. Just about a tablespoon. As you know by now, I cook my food in very little oil, and I'm going to keep the heat low because that's the only way to cook. Heat low and cover. That's the only way you can cook your food with very little oil. As we all know that we shouldn't eat too much fat in our food, which is bad for our system. So I try to cook my food in half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, or maximum it's going to be 1 tablespoon, unless I'm doing some frying, which will be very rare. So I put salt and turmeric in the fish, about 1 teaspoon salt and half a teaspoon turmeric. Anytime you're cooking something, especially meat, you need to put turmeric. That's what kills the bacteria and germs. So now I'm going to put this one in the oil, and I have my heat low. Initially I'm just going to fry it like this with low heat. I will add all of them. But if you have, I have like 3 large pieces and I cut them up. So I added all of them. I'm going to use a cover. So as you see, I'm using a cover. I'm going to cover it up and cook it about 10-15 minutes until all the fishes are cooked. And once all the fishes are cooked, then I'm going to open and turn on the other side. So I'll turn on the other side about 10 to 15 minutes later, and it's cooking in low heat. So I'll see you in 15 minutes. So now you see my fish is nice and crispy and it's done. So I just have to make sure it's done from the both sides. Now you can eat it like this, just like this, sprinkle some spices and eat it just like this with your brown rice and lentil soup. Or you can add onion, ginger, garlic and make a really fish gravy, and I will show that one next, how to do a fish gravy. So right now this is fish fry, then I'll do a fish gravy and show you. So now I'm going to show you how you're going to make fish curry. So in order to do that, I'm going to be adding very little olive oil, about a 1/4 teaspoon, just to saute my cumin seed and my asafoetida. I'm going to put a pinch of asafoetida. So now I will let it cook for 1 minute. As you know by now, I use very little oil. I cannot eat too much fat in my food, so I use very little oil, and there will be like very rare that I will cook something in high fat. Maybe some parties or something when I have to take some food. So this is pretty much roasting now. And now remember previously we cooked the fish, which I put 1 tablespoon oil and roasted the fish both the side, keeping it covered about 15 to 20 minutes. So it's pretty much cooked both the sides. Now I'm just gonna make the gravy, add the fish, put some cilantro leaves and cover it for 10-15 minutes so it gets mixed well. So now that my cumin seed seems to be done, to this one I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of onion, ginger, garlic paste. This is pre-made. As I show you my other videos, I pre-made the onion, ginger, garlic and keep it. This makes the cooking process very easy and fast. So the onion, ginger, garlic is already cooked. Just the matter of mixing it together. Now to this I'm going to add my tomato sauce. So this is just the tomato sauce, 2 tablespoons. You can add fresh tomato if you wish, but if you do add fresh tomato, make sure you cook the fresh tomato with your onion, ginger, garlic for about 10 minutes covered so the tomatoes are cooked properly. Because you don't want to add your fish to the raw tomato. You have to cook the tomato as your onion, ginger, garlic is already cooked. So since this is tomato sauce, I don't need to cook that much, but still I want to make sure it's a little bit cooked with it. Now to this one I'm going to add some salt. Remember your fish already has salt, so you don't want to over salt it. You already put salt while frying the fish in little bit of oil. So I put little bit turmeric. Now this is fish masala. You can use any masala blend, vegetable masala or fish masala, any blend. And this one is garam masala. This is little bit, I'm going to use it later at the end. I'm going to use little bit of cumin seed crushed or grounded and little bit of, this is coriander seed grounded. So about half a teaspoon each. And the fish masala I use 1 teaspoon, half a teaspoon turmeric, salt little bit because I already used salt to fry the fish. And this frying was done only 1 tablespoon oil covering the fish, so it wasn't a deep fry or anything. So as you see, this been mixed nicely. And to this I'm going to add some water. So I'm going to add about a cup of water, just enough to soak the fish. It's about a cup of water. Now you're going to cover it and bring it to a boil. Once this comes to a boil, then we're going to add the fish. Now you see my gravy is boiling, and to this one I just added little bit more water because water was significantly reduced. So to this one I'm going to add all my fish pieces, but I will make sure that I don't want to move them around too much because I don't want to break the pieces. So when you cook with less oil, there's always chances of breaking them, because you know when you cook it with too much oil, that's what keeps it as a whole. But when you cook with less oil, they usually tend to break. So I have to make sure all the gravy mixed with the fish, and you will put 2 tablespoons of fresh cilantro leaves, clean and chopped. And you're going to put little bit of garam masala, about half a teaspoon. And now you're going to cover this one and cook it for 10 to 15 minutes. But make sure you don't move around with your spoon too much because you don't want to break them. You just want them to cook in the gravy. So I'm just going to put the lid on and keep in my low heat and cook it for 10 to 15 minutes just to make them cook. Remember, they were cooked 15-20 minutes previously when I fried them in very little oil. And now they're going to cook in the gravy, and once it's done, it's really tasty. Well, another just note in the side, when you cook your food, either your vegetables or your fish, in very little oil and less spices, they tend to retain their taste and flavor. But when you put tons of oil and tons of spices, they tend to lose it all, and all you can taste is the spices and oil. So I just put very little oil and little spices, and that way you don't have to break a bank to cook just one meal. So I'm going to give you a picture, and I'm going to show you about 10-15 minutes later what it turns out. As you see, the fish gravy is really looking yummy and smelling good. At this point, if you love hot food, you can break few green chili pepper, cut it in the middle, seeded it, and then drop it in it, or you can drop it with the seed if you really love hot food. Or you can just have it just like this with brown rice or bread, or just like this. It's extremely tasty and the flavor is really good. Oh my YouTube family, this looks so yummy and smells so good and tastes even awesome. I wish I could just let you taste it. It is so yummy, hot and smoking. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share the video, and I'll be seeing you with many more videos. Thank you. Bye bye. Have an awesome day. It's a beautiful weather here.